A deal on the nation's embattled energy policy could be in the works, with the National Party signalling it's open to a net zero emissions target, but only under the right restrictions, I should say. Live to Jonathan Lee here in Canberra now. Jonathan, critics are laying out a pathway.
They are, Pete. Good morning to you. Perhaps a case of political pragmatism here for the National Party, suggesting that they're open to a deal on net zero emissions by 2050. But this would be a climate compromise at best, I guess. Naturally, it comes after Barnaby Joyce said he was going to take a hard line to protect agri-businesses and also mining jobs. But a key backer of Barnaby Joyce, Bridget McKenzie, a national senator, has written an op-ed in Australia's newspaper today. Let's have a look at that. She says, and it's a fair chunk, if the world is in fact moving towards a net zero future, Australia needs to ensure the rules and the methodologies that underpin it are fair, enforceable, agreed to by everyone, and importantly, in our national interest. We must be clear ourselves as to what those objectives are before entering such negotiations. Failing to do so risks sleepwalking Australia into an international agreement that favours rich industrialised nations that already have the competitive advantage of established low emissions technologies such as nuclear energy. Now, Pete, we'll come back to that energy argument, but behind the scenes there's also battles going on over ministerial portfolios at the moment. We know that those key backers of Barnaby Joyce are looking for jobs, which leaves Darren Chester on the outer. He made an 11th hour pitch yesterday to keep his Veterans Affairs portfolio.
There was a presumption that you were on the way out.
Well, Kieran, I haven't had any conversations with anyone about jobs. I've read the media speculation, and obviously that's what happens in this place. You read what people are forecasting will or won't happen. On the eve of the Royal Commission, which is going to be another opportunity for people to have very constructive input into what happens next. Look, obviously it's an important time in the public policy space of veterans and their families.
And Jonathan, all this comes as nuclear energy rises as a possible option.
Yeah, Pete, this is something people have been talking about for a long time, but naturally it hasn't had public support. Basically, the argument here is it's too easy for critics to get on board and create concerns amongst the voting public. The Australian newspaper has a report today that cabinet-level discussions have considered the option of this being a platform at the next election. At the moment, though, it is still considered too dangerous to go it alone, the government believing it would need bipartisan support from the opposition. But if we had nuclear energy, it would certainly make it a whole lot easier to get to that net zero target by 2050. It'd also make it a lot easier, Pete, to purchase those submarines we desperately need, rather than trying to retrofit the ones from France and turn them into diesel electric subs rather than keeping them as the nuclear subs that they would naturally be, Pete.
Jonathan Lee, thank you.